Hey guys, Brett Weiss here. Welcome to another video. I recently did a video about game chasing, game hunting, whatever you want to call it, at half-price books and other used bookstores. You know, the big used bookstores, oftentimes chain bookstores, where they sell a lot of other things in addition to books, like video games and video game related items, pop culture collectibles, and on and on and on, records. And I had some tips and tricks for you guys on how to shop at these stores to maximize your time there and just to find cool stuff at these stores. Now, I wanted to do another video on this because I got some really great comments on Facebook and YouTube with some tips and tricks from you guys. These are things I hadn't thought of before, but also I was reminded of some tips and tricks for shopping at these stores. The first one up is actually mine, one I forgot to mention to you guys: CD soundtracks. There have been quite a few soundtracks of different games over the years for different video games and video game movies, that kind of thing. I stumbled across a copy of Tempest 2000 soundtrack, one of the greatest, probably the greatest Atari Jaguar game. Check out that Jaguar logo on the back. The case is cracked, but I hadn't gotten around to replacing this yet. But the disc is in really nice condition and pretty cool, huh? What a great find. Look how cool that is. Really awesome. I can crank that up in my car that still has a CD player, and I still use my Jambox pretty often in my bedroom. So pretty cool stuff there. So at Half Price Books in particular, where their CD section is, you'll probably find a soundtrack section. Also, below their CDs, they've got rows of CDs on clearance. And in that rack, I have found the CD soundtrack to Final Fantasy, the CGI Final Fantasy movie that came out years ago. You know, kind of a divisive movie. Not everybody loved it, but I thought it was pretty cool. And I did find the CD soundtrack for that. I don't have it here with me. I think I actually sold it at a show, but anyway, I did find that for just $2 on clearance at a Half Price Books. And if you guys like music, you know, just general music, rock and roll in particular, which is what I like, Half Price Books usually has a lot of CDs on clearance. Sometimes they're $1, but they're usually $2 a piece. So pretty cool. A lot of soundtracks or just CDs in general on clearance at Half Price Books. And I have found quite a few soundtracks mixed in for different movies too, like Daredevil and Batman Returns, Batman Beyond. Quite a few different CD soundtracks I found. I usually sell these in my antique mall booth or at shows. Find them for $1 a piece, put them out for $5 or $6, you know, pretty cool. So definitely check out the CD section and the CD clearance sale section at these used bookstores, Half Price in particular. So that was just one I thought of that I forgot to mention last time. Now over on YouTube, Sergeant Zombie had a really good suggestion. Now he was talking about thrift stores, but the same could apply to used bookstores. He says he constantly checks thrift stores for old cheat code books. He says lots of websites I used to have, that he used to use, have disappeared. Okay, so hint books for games. A lot of these hints are no longer available online, according to Sergeant Zombie. And one other thing I've noticed, some of these hint books are worth some money, and Half Price Books doesn't always catch those. You catch them slipping sometimes. If you go on eBay and look up, completed auctions for strategy guides, out of print strategy guides or whatever, do highest price first, you will find certain hint books, strategy guides, out of print guides. Most of them are out of print, actually. You will find some that are worth quite a bit of money, or you just might find some that you need for your collection. So just in the video game section, there's usually books, and at Half Price Books, they usually have a section for video game books. And usually these are newer books, recently remaindered books, or just books people traded in, just on maybe video game history, or just, big art books about particular games. But they do have, from time to time, older strategy books. Thrift stores have these too, so definitely keep an eye out for those. Thank you for that, Sergeant Zombie. He also mentions that he checks CD cases that look blank. I've already gone over soundtrack CDs, but I didn't really think of this. CD cases that look blank, he has found a lot of PS1 games that way. Now, I do check at thrift stores and in, you know, half-price bookstores too, just when they have a mix of CDs. I will check for PS1 games. Now, I don't find as many as I used to, but you definitely do find PS1 games from time to time mixed in with CDs since they are in the jewel cases. So thank you for that, Sergeant Zombie. And he says to look in the blank ones as well, not just for ones that have, you know, PS1 packaging. So definitely check out the blank, you know, they're just CDs that look blank. Thank you, Sergeant Zombie, for that. Next up on YouTube, Sir Robert Lacey says, don't forget the coupons. Now, I can't believe I overlooked this in my first video. He says, sometimes they have something rare in the case for about retail, but a 50% coupon will get it for a bargain. Now, definitely, now this applies to half-price books. I'm not sure what other, you know, of these types of bookstores like Second and Charles, I don't know if they send out coupons, but half-price books periodically will send out coupons in your email and in your physical mailbox. And these coupons, they vary throughout the week. I think they start off like at 20% on Monday, 30% on Tuesday, and on, 50% off on Sunday. Now, a lot of people complain about half-price books selling their used video games for full retail, if not above in a lot of cases. Like I said in my first video, you could call it half-price books / full-price video games, because they don't really discount their video games much, but if you do have a coupon, so when you go to half price, you definitely want to sign up for their mailing list and definitely keep an eye out for their coupons, because I've got some really cool stuff that way. All right, next up, Martin Meyer says, love your content, your positivity, and your drama-free videos. Now, he didn't have any advice. I just wanted to say that because it warmed my heart. It made me feel really good that he said that. So thank you, Martin, for that. I really, really appreciate it. I have fun on YouTube, and it's great when someone just recognizes that and enjoys it. So thank you for that, Martin. Okay, over on Facebook, Sarah Zephyr. She's actually one of my patrons on Patreon and a friend of mine. I've never met her in person, I don't believe, unless it was at a show I've forgotten, but we correspond online, and like I said, she's a patron and supporter of my work, so that is awesome. Thank you, Sarah, for that. I really appreciate it. She says to check out picture books in case you find interesting storybooks like Tron, E.T., or The Black Hole. Now, I love this suggestion because I forgot to present this suggestion to you guys, because I have found a lot of cool stuff over the years at Half Price Books in their picture book section. You know, the children's books, where they have picture books, story books, things like that. A lot of times they're in hardcover, sometimes they're in softcover, but you can find them. You know, usually Half Price Books will have a large selection of children's books, picture books, you know, just some of the oversized books. And I found some cool stuff like that, and I found them at thrift stores too. So since she does mention things like E.T. and the Black Hole, I'll show you some non-gaming related stuff real quick here too. But first, I'm going to show you the coolest picture book find I've made, and this was actually at a thrift store. For $3, I got The Adventures of Q*bert, published back in the day in absolutely gorgeous condition. And you can even see the little $5 Half Price Books sign there. I didn't actually get this at Half Price Books. I bought it at a thrift store. Someone must have bought it at half price and then just dumped it at the thrift store. But pretty neat. Colorful pictures, just fun. It's cool to have in my collection. I actually read part of this in a video my Korg's report from 2019. I started off with it just as a little joke, but pretty cool. The Adventures of Q*bert, Parker Brothers, really cool. So that was actually the thrift store, but as you can see, it was once at Half Price Books. I found a bunch of other books over the years for movies I enjoy, things of that nature, like this Flash Gordon hardcover. Pretty awesome, the 1980 Flash Gordon book that I absolutely love. Such a great movie, and a favorite of comic book artist Alex Ross. He said one time, Flash Gordon was the movie he wanted out of Star Wars, so he likes Flash Gordon even better than Star Wars. Also got this Flash Gordon picture book. And check it out, guys. Clash of the Titans, remember that movie? This was a half-price purchase. Pretty cool. The comic book adaptation. Got the Battlestar Galactica picture book. Pretty cool. Supergirl was not a great movie, but I absolutely love the look of the actress. Her name is drawing a blank right now, but she did a great job, at least looking like Supergirl. Pretty awesome. And yes, indeed, I have found 2 Tron picture books at Half Price Books. This computer age activity book, which is pretty cool. Not really a picture book, but like it says, it is an activity book. There you go, unused, pretty awesome. And this storybook. So yeah, Tron, pretty awesome. I love Tron. These are great for my Tron collection. So yeah, when you go into used bookstores, check out their picture books. You never know what you're gonna find. It's not just gonna be Ernie and Bert and stuff like that. You will find some movie tie-in stuff and video game stuff from time to time. Pretty cool. Thank you, Sarah, for that. Last but not least is Michael Otto. Now, this is again on Facebook. He goes, watch your video, nice job. One other tip is that HPB, Half Price Books, will negotiate, especially on items that have been on the shelf a while. Check the date on the sticker. Yeah, on Half Price Books, on their items, you know, like their mass market paperbacks, they'll usually just have half of cover or whatever. But they're, you know, their hardcover books and their DVDs and most of their other products, they will put a sticker on there and it'll have the date. And that'll tell you, you know, when the book, what month and what year the book was put on the shelf. Well, if you find something that's been on there a long time, you know, been on their store shelves for a long time, that they've stocked for a while, they might be ready to get rid of it, especially if it's a more expensive item. And you can negotiate with them. I can't believe I forgot to mention this as well, because I do negotiate with Half Price Books from time to time. As longtime viewers of my channel know, you guys know I'm always looking for a bargain. And this is a great way to do it. If you go into Half Price, and maybe on a newer item, they might negotiate if it's really expensive, but typically they'll only negotiate if something has been in stock for a pretty long time. So yeah, if you go into Half Price Books and you think you might want a $50 or $60 game and it's been on the shelf for maybe 6 months or longer, ask them. It couldn't hurt, and they might have to check with the manager, but sometimes they might take 10% off, $10 off or whatever. Give it a shot. All right, guys, thank you so much for these suggestions, these tips, these tricks on shopping at Half Price Books and other used bookstores and even thrift stores. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking this video. And if you can think of any other tips and tricks for shopping for video games and video game related items at used bookstores or thrift stores, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll do a completely separate thrift store video. All right, guys, we will talk to you later. Thank you so much for watching. If you're a fan of my work, you might want to consider supporting me on Patreon. For just a low fee each month, you get a lot of extra content. Another way to support the channel and my writing career is to buy books direct from me, including the 100 Greatest Console Video Games, the Classic Home Video Game Series. It's like an encyclopedia set. And this massive bad boy, the NES Omnibus Volume 1 A through L. I will put links in the description of this video where you can buy books direct from me and where you can support me on Patreon. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.